Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot the rare 1993 D-Mark Lincoln penny, why it's so valuable, and how you can turn an ordinary-looking coin into life-changing money. Coins, small, ordinary, and often overlooked. Most people wouldn't even bother picking one up off the sidewalk. But what if that tiny copper coin could be your ticket to financial freedom? The 1993 D-Mark Lincoln penny is no ordinary coin. It's shrouded in mystery, with collectors and investors scrambling to get their hands on one. And the best part? These rare pennies are still out there, circulating, waiting to be discovered. But why is this particular penny worth a fortune? Well, it all comes down to a rare minting error, a fascinating backstory, and a demand that has sent its value through the roof. Alright, let's talk numbers. A single 1993 D-Mark Lincoln penny has sold for nearly $2 million at auction. Yes, a single penny. And while that may sound crazy, let me explain why. There are only a handful of these rare error pennies in existence. The US Mint made a mistake in the production process, whether it was a misstrike, a double die, or a unique composition error. This tiny flaw transformed an ordinary coin into a collector's holy grail. Now, before you start searching every penny you've ever owned, here's the catch. Not every 1993 D penny is valuable, but there are key signs you need to look for, and in just a moment, I'll reveal exactly how to spot one. If you found $1 million penny today, what's the first thing you'd buy? A mansion? A sports car? Or just pay off that never-ending stack of bills? Let me know in the comments because, hey, you might be closer to that payday than you think. Now, here's the most important part. How do you identify if you're holding a fortune in your hand? Look for the D mint mark just below the year 1993 on the penny. Use a scale to check if your coin is slightly heavier or lighter than a standard penny. Check for doubling on the inscriptions, unusual marks, or an off-center strike. If you suspect you have one, don't guess. Get it verified by a reputable coin grading service. Here's the exciting part. You might already have one of these rare pennies in your home. The question is, will you be the next person to cash in on this hidden treasure? If you're serious about selling rare coins, or just want to learn more about valuable pennies still in circulation, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. And if you think you have one of these $1 million pennies, drop a comment below. I want to hear your story. 1961, D. Lincoln penny, and discovering its worth sounds unbelievable, right? But this is a fairy tale. This is waiting to be claimed. Most people don't realize they might be sitting on a hidden fortune. Stick around, because in the next few minutes, I'll reveal exactly what to look for, the current market value, and how you can cash in on this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth would a 1961 D. Lincoln penny be worth millions? After all, it's just a penny, right? Well, let me ask you this because of its unique misprint. Some were struck with doubling errors, while others have unusual mint marks. And let's not forget, condition is everything. But before you run to check your change jar, let's talk how much could your penny actually be worth? Well, that depends. And this is where things get really exciting. Right now, show that certain 1961 D. Lincoln pennies are selling for upwards of Y. Because collectors are obsessed with rare errors. And when a coin like this hits the market, bidding wars break out. They spend a lifetime overlooking valuable pennies and unknowingly spend them on a pack of gum. I mean, can you imagine paying for a coffee with a that barista just got the world's biggest tip, and you got, well, a caffeine rush and a lifetime of regret? Alright, now that your adrenaline is pumping, let's get into the finding and selling one of these rare pennies. Look for the 1961 D mint mark and inspect for errors like double die strikes, repunched mint marks, or off-center prints. If your penny looks nearly new, it could be worth more. Coins graded MS 65 or higher can reach the highest values. Don't guess, have a professional your coin. Certified numismatists or grading services like PCGS or NGC can confirm its value. Rare coins like these fetch their highest prices at exclusive auctions, not on eBay or at your local pawn shop. Because if you do, your life could change, so before you spend another penny without checking, take a closer look. That old coin in your drawer could be and if you want to learn a band, check out my next video, where I reveal the top 5 most valuable pennies still in circulation today. 2008 No Mark Lincoln penny. You think, Just a penny, right? But what if I told you this simple coin could be worth up to, yeah, you heard that right, a single penny, 1 cent, worth more than a luxury home, a Ferrari, or even your retirement fund? Before you go digging through your couch cushions, stay with me, because in the next few minutes I'm going to show you how you can identify if you have one and why its price keeps skyrocketing in today's market. But be warned, missing even one crucial detail could mean the difference between striking it rich and tossing a fortune back into circulation. First things first, what even is a 2008 no-mark Lincoln penny, and why is it causing such a frenzy in the collector world? In 2008, the U.S. Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies. Most were made at the Denver Mint / or the Philadelphia Mint, with no mint mark. Seems normal, right? Well, here's where things take a turn. / caused some of these pennies to be struck in a way that makes them, and not just by a few bucks. We're talking thousands, even millions of dollars at auctions. Okay, but why would anyone pay that much for a mistake? Great question. And the answer lies in the / combined with collector demand. Because when a coin like this is found, it becomes a one-of-a-kind treasure in the numismatic world. And trust me, there are collectors out there for these coins. Some are willing to pay just to own one. So, how do you know if 008 Lincoln penny is one of these rare gems? This is where things get exciting. Because the difference between a regular penny and $1 million penny comes down to standard 2008 Lincoln pennyways, but some rare errors were struck on old used before 1982. If your penny feels off, you might be holding a jackpot. Not all no-mark pennies are valuable, but specific error types are. A microscopic examination is key. Some of these rare pennies were accidentally struck in pure copper instead of the standard zinc-coated planchets. / alright, so let's say you found now what? Do you list it on eBay? Take it to a pawn shop? Sell it at an auction? The truth is, many people, so here's what you need to do for your rare penny. Shady dealers will try to undercut your profit. Always go through reputable auction houses or certified buyers. Instead of settling for a fixed price, let collectors battle it out. The highest bidder always wins, and so do you. Some experts predict that these rare pennies will only increase in value over time. That means if you have one, it could be worth / in the coming years. Point one, that's even more valuable than the 2008 no-mark Lincoln penny. Because, believe it or not, there are other coins out there worth, and in my next video, I'm revealing a coin that's shattered all expectations, fetching over / so before you make any decisions, to make sure you're not sitting on a hidden gold mine, if you found this video helpful, so you don't miss out on the next big discovery. And if you think you have a valuable coin, let me know in the comments. I might just help you figure out if you're sitting on a fortune. Up to sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that one 1972 no-mark Lincoln penny could make you an instant millionaire? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what makes it valuable and how you can cash in before it's too late. 1972, a time when gas was 36 cents a gallon, Richard Nixon was president, and the U.S. Mint was unknowingly producing one of the most valuable pennies in history. You might be wondering, what makes this particular penny so special? The answer lies in a rare that slipped through unnoticed. Unlike regular pennies from the same year, this one is missing something crucial. That tiny S or D that normally appears under the date. Gone. And that tiny omission could be worth millions. Sounds crazy? Stick around, because we're about to break down the exact details that make this penny so valuable, and how you can check if you have one. Most people look at pennies and see, well, pennies. But rare coin collectors see the 1972 no-mark Lincoln penny is a rarity because only a handful made it into circulation before the mistake was caught. And thanks to that scarcity, these coins have been just last year one sold for, and there's speculation that, pause for a second and think about that. Your penny must be from 1972. No other year will do. Look under the date. If there's an S or D, it's not the rare one. The better the condition, the higher the value. Now let's talk about selling it. The worst mistake you can make: many pawn shops or amateur collectors will lowball you. Instead, you need to get a tuition through reputable dealers. These pennies are becoming harder to find every day. More people are cashing in, and the window to discover one is closing fast. Go through your piggy bank, check your old coin jars, even search that cup holder in your car. Did you know a simple 2008 penny, yes, the one you might have in your pocket right now, could be worth up to $3 million? Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you people are actually cashing in on this rare no-mint mark Lincoln penny? And if you're sitting on one without knowing, you could be missing out on life-changing money. Stick with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to check if you have this rare coin and how to sell it for maximum profit. Imagine this, you're sifting through your change, maybe grabbing a coffee, and you spot a 2008 penny. Looks normal, nothing fancy. But here's the kicker. If it doesn't have a mint mark, it could be worth millions. Why? Because of a rare minting error that only a few people know about. Let's rewind to 2008. The US Mint was cranking out billions of pennies, but a rare mistake led to some being struck without a mint mark. These error coins are like golden tickets for collectors. Over the years, the demand has skyrocketed, and now collectors are paying ridiculous amounts to get their hands on one. Now, here's where most people go wrong. They assume all pennies are worthless, they don't check, and they unknowingly give away a fortune. Just think, how many times have you tossed a penny aside, thinking it's just pocket change? But let me tell you a story. A man in Texas found one of these rare pennies and almost spent it on gas. At the last second, he decided to double-check, and guess what? That penny sold at an auction for over $1 million. Now imagine if he hadn't checked. Gone. Money lost forever. That's why I'm telling you right now. Go grab your loose change, check your jars, look under your couch cushions. Because every second you wait, someone else could be cashing in. So, how do you know if your penny is the real deal? Simple. Grab a magnifying glass or your phone's camera and check for the mint mark under the year. If it's missing, bingo, you might be sitting on a gold mine. Next step, authentication. Take your coin to a reputable coin dealer or send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. You need proof before you can cash in. And once it's verified, that's when things get exciting. You can list it at major auction houses, sell it to private collectors, or even get coin dealers to bid for it. Some have gone for $500,000, others for $3 million. But here's the million-dollar question. Could you be holding one of these rare pennies right now? The only way to find out is to start searching. Check your coins, get them verified, and don't let this life-changing opportunity slip through your fingers. If you found this valuable, make sure to subscribe because I have more hidden coin treasures to reveal that could make you rich. And if you think this is exciting, just wait until you see what I've got for you in the next video. There's a rare coin worth even more. Click now before you miss out. 2018 Lincoln penny, missing a tiny mint mark, could be worth up to, yes, you heard that right. A single coin hiding in plain sight could change your life overnight. Stay with me because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare penny, why it's worth a fortune, and how you can cash in on this hidden treasure. But first, let me ask you, when was the last time you actually looked at your pocket change? If your answer is never, then you might be sitting on a gold mine without even knowing it. Alright, so let's break this down. The 2018 Lincoln penny was meant to have a D mint mark, showing that it was struck at the Denver Mint. But due to a rare minting error, some of these pennies were released now. Here's why this is such a big deal. In the world of rare coins, minting errors, especially ones that remove critical markings, are like finding a misprinted dollar bill or a vintage Rolex with the wrong logo. Collectors for these mistakes because they're incredibly rare and almost impossible to replicate. And since there are only a handful of these 2018 no mint mark pennies known to exist, their value has skyrocketed in recent years. One of these coins was recently valued at nearly $2 million. Imagine turning a 1-cent piece into life-changing wealth. Sounds crazy, right? But here's where it gets even more shocking. Every single day, more and more of these rare pennies are being found, collected, and taken out of circulation. That means the chances of you finding one are shrinking fast. Think about it. How many pennies have you seen lying around, on the ground, in your car, or in that old jar in your kitchen? One of them could be worth more than your house and you wouldn't even know it. So here's what you need to do. After this video, go grab your jar of coins, your piggy bank, or even check under your couch cushions. You're looking for a 2018 Lincoln penny, and if you find one, hold on to it because the market is exploding. Some experts predict that in the next few years, these rare coins could be worth even more, but only for those who act fast. Where do you sell it, And how do you make sure you get top dollar for your rare penny? Rush to your local pawn shop. They might offer you a few $100 when your coin is actually worth thousands or even millions. Instead, get your penny authenticated by a reputable coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. These experts will instantly increase its market value. Then, list it on major auction houses like Heritage Auctions, Stax Bowers, or even eBay. Believe it or not, some collectors are waiting for a chance to bid on one of these rare pennies. And here's the best part. If the demand keeps rising, you could be the next person cashing in on a record-breaking sale. Now, before you start tearing apart your coin jar, let me ask you, what if I told you there are worth just as much, if not more, than this one? Yes, the 2018 No Mint Mark penny is just of many hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. So if you want to learn about the /rare coin that could make you a millionaire, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. 2004 Lincoln penny. Yes, the one you might have in your pocket or junk drawer, could be worth up to that's right. A single penny, potentially more valuable than a luxury mansion. But here's the catch. Most people have no idea what to look for, and they end up spending these rare gems without knowing their true worth. Imagine accidentally handing over a life-changing fortune for a cup of coffee. Don't let that be you. Because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot these rare coins, why they're worth a fortune, and most importantly, how you can cash in on them before it's too late. So, what makes the 2004 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny so incredibly valuable? It all comes down to a rare error that most people overlook. In the world of coin collecting, mistakes mean big money. Crazy, right? If only our mistakes in life could make millions instead of just embarrassing us at family gatherings. Here's what happened. In 2004, the US Mint accidentally released a batch of Lincoln pennies without a mint mark. Normally, you'd see a tiny letter under the year indicating where the coin was made, like D for Denver or S for San Francisco. But these rare pennies just a blank space where the mint mark should be. And that's what makes them valuable. Because in coin collecting, rarity equals money. And with only a handful of these pennies known to exist, collectors are willing to pay a fortune to own one. But just how much are we talking about here? Well, buckle up, because the numbers will blow your mind. The payoff: how to spot and sell your $1 million penny. A verified 2004 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny in pristine condition has been sold for as high as even lower grade versions can still fetch thousands. Enough to buy a brand new car or take a luxury vacation. You have one of these pennies right now. Maybe it's hiding in an old piggy bank, in your car's cup holder, or at the bottom of your coin jar. The question is, will you find it before someone else does? Look for a 2004 penny. If there's no mint mark, you might have a winner. Some of these rare pennies also have doubled lettering or misalignments, increasing their value even more. If you think you have one, don't spend it. Get it professionally graded immediately. Sites like PCGS or NGC can authenticate your penny and give you an accurate valuation. Penny, even rarer than this one, hiding in circulation right now. And its value? Even than $3 million. Want to know what it is? Make sure you subscribe, because I'll reveal that because that tiny coin in your pocket might just be the key to your dream lifestyle. And if you found this video valuable, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Your $1 million discovery could be just one coin away. 1981 Lincoln penny, with NO mint mark, is shaking up the coin collecting world. And the best part? You might have one sitting in your jar of spare change right now. Most people see pennies as worthless. Something you toss into a tip jar or leave in a parking lot without a second thought. But in the world of rare coins, a single mistake at the US Mint can turn an ordinary penny into a life-changing fortune. The 1981 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny is one such coin. This isn't just a collector's fantasy. It's a real opportunity. People have sold these rare pennies for jaw-dropping amounts at auctions. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what makes these coins so valuable, how to identify one, and what you need to do if you find one. And trust me, you'll want to stick around till the end, because I'm revealing the biggest mistake people make when selling these coins. One that could cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars. So why is this little coin causing such a stir? It all comes down to a rare minting error and a missing mint mark. Normally, pennies minted in Philadelphia don't have a mint mark. But in 1981, something unusual happened. Some pennies meant for San Francisco or Denver, which should have had mint marks, were struck without one. These rare mistakes, combined with specific conditions like high-quality strikes and well-preserved surfaces, have made them one of the most valuable modern pennies in existence. Here's the scary part. Most people who have owned these pennies had no idea they were sitting on a fortune. Some were unknowingly spent on coffee. Others were left in penny jars for years, gathering dust while their value skyrocketed. Let that sink in for a second. You could have a coin worth millions and not even know it.so. How do you know if you have one of these goldmine pennies? First, check your 1981 pennies for that missing mint mark. Next, examine the coin's condition. The better the state, the higher its value. And here's a quick pro tip. Never clean your coin. I repeat, do not clean it. A single attempt to make it look shinier could destroy its value instantly. Now, if you do find one, your next step is crucial. Many people rush to sell their rare coins without realizing their full worth. Some dealers may even try to lowball you. But if you play this right, you could be holding your ticket to an entirely new lifestyle. And here's where it gets even crazier. There are rumors of even rarer variations of this coin, possibly worth even more than 1.5 million. But very few people know about them. Want to know what makes these variations so special? Stick around, because in my next video, I'll reveal the secret behind these ultra-rare finds and how you can make sure you don't let $1 million penny slip through your fingers. And if you think you have one of these valuable pennies, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. It's worthless. But suddenly you spot a 1988 Lincoln penny. No mint mark. Could it be the one? The one worth up to before you shrug it off? Listen closely, because in the next few minutes you could learn most people ignore pennies, thinking they're just pennies. But what if I told you that some of these tiny coins hold in 1988, the US Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, but it created a version without a mint mark, making it incredibly rare and valuable. And the crazy part, but here's the real kicker, this isn't just about collecting. It's about on history, because a single mistake by the US Mint could mean so. How do you know if you have the right 1988 penny? First, let's talk numbers. Recent auctions have seen this coin sell for, with some valuations reaching up to $0.5 million for a single penny. Now, you might be thinking, why would anyone pay that much for a penny? Well, the world of rare coin collecting is full of high-stakes collectors who are willing to, and this isn't just a fluke. Coins with similar errors, like the famous 1943 copper penny, have sold for millions. The market is there. The demand is there. And if you find, but here's where it gets interesting, so how do you know if you have the one? I'll reveal that in just a second. But first, let me ask you this. Have you ever found an odd-looking coin and just tossed it aside? If so, you could have thrown away thousands, maybe even millions. Let's talk action. If you think you have a 1988 penny with no mint mark, the rare version is missing the small letter indicating where it was minted. If yours has no mark, that's a \. Some versions of this penny also have a doubling effect on Lincoln's ear, making them, before selling, get your coin authenticated by a professional grader like PCGS or NGC. Auction houses, private collectors, and online platforms can all be for selling rare coins. The key is no wingy's worth a fortune. Would you know what to do? If you want to make sure you never miss $1 million coin, because in my next video, I'm revealing don't let history slip through your fingers. Dollar. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you it's the 1965 no mint mark Lincoln penny is making headlines, and collectors are to get their hands on one. But here's the kicker. ***, you might have one sitting in your home right now, without even realizing it. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to identify this rare penny, and if you're sitting on a life-changing fortune. You see, in 1965, the US Mint was facing a crisis, silver was disappearing from circulation, and the government scrambled to adjust production. During this chaotic time, some coins, like the 1965 Lincoln penny, were minted in a way that makes them incredibly valuable today. Unlike most pennies, some 1965 Lincoln pennies at first glance, they look like any regular coin. But in reality, penny? The answer lies in of rarity, errors, and collector demand. Some of these 1965 no-mint mark Lincoln pennies were struck using the metal discs used to make coins. Others have unique that make them incredibly valuable. What to look for? Have you ever casually spent a penny that could have made you a millionaire? If so, you might want to check your couch cushions, alright? Let's break it down /s how to know if your 1965 penny is worth a fortune. Flip it over. If you might have a winner. A well-struck coin with strong details is worth more. Look for doubled lettering, off-center strikes, or unusual colors. Serious collectors rely on to determine the true value of their coins. Here's the big question / like heritage auctions or stacks bowers. Private collectors who are willing to online marketplaces, but beware of scams. You don't want to sell a penny for just a few $100, right?